Greetings, my dear viewer. You're on the channel The Price of Cheating. The channel is for those who appreciate traditional family values and condemn adultery. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. All right, I said, trying to keep calm and control my voice. Sophie, however, didn't hide the growing irritation in her tone. All right? Did you even hear what I just said? Yes, dear. You're meeting another man on Friday and you think that's normal? Her surprise was obvious. Not exactly. But what can I do? As you yourself said, I don't make decisions for you. You're free to choose what you want. Everything in your behavior and words shows that you've already made up your mind. What choice do I have? I sighed, resigning myself. I'll still be here. Don't let your fragile male ego ruin everything. I love you and I'll fix it. You'll see. So you do understand that this is wrong. My voice remained even, though I was far from calm inside. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. Really? Do you think your parents or mine would approve of this? Sophie lowered her eyes, avoiding my gaze, but said nothing. That was all I needed to hear. I allowed the silence to stretch between us, giving her time to think. She didn't show it, but I knew the weight of the situation was gradually sinking in. You know they wouldn't approve. You know what you're doing is wrong. You've practically admitted it. When? How? Then why do you feel the need to make it up to me? If it were just dinner with friends, there would be no need to apologize. Or if it were something harmless like going to the hairdresser, the only reason you want to make it up is because deep down, you know you're doing something wrong and it's eating at you. Her voice trembled, doubt beginning to creep in. But you said it was fine. No, I didn't. I said I couldn't stop you, but that's not the same as agreeing to it. I'd rather you stayed with me, or better yet, we could go together. Same restaurant, same club afterward, but it's not about dinner or dancing, is it? You want to spend time with someone else and that someone isn't me. You want him? What's his name again? Am I right? She glanced at me quickly but said nothing. What's his name? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm not trying to argue, but let me be clear. I don't want you spending time with this guy, Wilson, or whatever his name is, and meeting him on Friday. That'll have consequences. What consequences? Just like you keep Mr. Wilson a secret, I'm keeping this to myself. You're not just beautiful, you're smart too. I always tell you that. Maybe you think I'm saying it because I have to. I don't just say things. Every word I speak has weight. Now it's up to you, smart woman, to figure out what might happen if you decide to spend Friday evening with Mr. Wilson and not with me. You think I'm bluffing, don't you? You think I'll cave because you know I love you. You always manage to twist things to your advantage, but right now, I want us to be one again, to love each other and grow old together. I can't control your bad decisions, but consider yourself warned. From this moment, you're on your own. I stood up, grabbed my keys, and left before she could say anything else. The apartment had been tense all week, so cold that you could practically see your breath. By Thursday evening, I'd reached my limit. I packed my things and moved into the guest room. What are you doing, Liam? She asked, crossing her arms, watching as I carried a stack of clothes. I looked at her with genuine confusion, like a child trying to solve a puzzle. Are you serious? I clearly overestimated you, I replied. What do you think I'm doing? I'm moving out. You're just going to leave? Just like that? She asked, disbelief in her voice. Yes, I said flatly. My wife wants to date other men. Did you think I'd stay and keep sharing the same bed with you? Don't even hope for that. Her voice turned mocking, almost childish, like we were on a playground. Oh, what a baby you are. I didn't even respond. I moved my things into the guest room and started hanging clothes in the empty closet. When I went back for the rest of my stuff, she spoke again. So what now? Are you going to ignore me? Is this your way of punishing me? I simply said, these are the consequences. She couldn't say she hadn't been warned. Friday came, and I made a decision. I left work early and decided to treat myself. First, I went to an upscale salon for a stylish haircut, a clean shave, and a neat manicure. Nothing excessive, just clean and sharp. Then, I popped into the nearby men's store and picked out a fresh shirt, tailored pants, and a sleek jacket. I considered buying new shoes but thought better of it. New shoes for the evening could only spell trouble. Instead, I stopped by the car wash and had my truck cleaned inside and out. Even the truck didn't recognize itself afterward. When I got home, I took a long, hot shower. Sophie came back shortly after and jumped into the shower too. I went downstairs and waited. Half an hour later, she came down the stairs in a dress I'd never seen before. Short, barely reaching her knees, with a neckline that left almost nothing to the imagination. She stopped at the bottom step, clearly expecting a compliment. I said nothing. Her eyes widened in confusion as she looked at me again. "Oh my God!" she gasped. "You look incredible. Where are you going?" I kept my voice calm. "Out. Where else?" Mimicking her former haughty tone, I added, "What did you think? Did you honestly think your pathetic husband would just sit idly by, doing nothing, while you, the self-proclaimed queen, finally decide to show up after your nights out?" I slowly shook my head in disbelief, throwing open the garage door. The disappointment in my voice was undeniable as I spoke. "I really thought you were smart. Turns out I was wrong. How could I be so mistaken, right? Well, I've got more important things to do. Amelia doesn't put up with this kind of nonsense." I jumped into my pristine truck, and just as I started the engine, I heard a distant shout. I couldn't help but smirk. An evening with Amelia? Magnificent. We met at a small, cozy wine bar that served light dinners, with a pianist filling the space with soothing music on the weekends, making couples sway gently on the tiny dance floor. Our conversations at work already showed how naturally we connected. And the best part? She got my humor. I know it sounds cliché, but it's true. Nothing wins over a man faster than a woman who genuinely laughs at his jokes. Dancing with her felt like floating to a sensual melody, all wrapped up in her elegant heels. We were in perfect sync, our lips brushing each other's cheeks, ears, and eventually meeting in a kiss. There was this magnetic pull between us, our bodies moving as if they were meant for this. But we both knew the reality. I was still married, and we accepted the boundaries that came with that. So we let the evening stretch on, sipping wine, exchanging playful glances, as if time itself had stopped. Sophie, as I've said before, was undeniably beautiful and full of fiery passion. But that passion had a dark side, jealousy. I was almost certain that the mere thought of me being near Amelia would drive Sophie into a rage, shattering whatever thrill she was feeling with her latest fling, the infamous Mr. Wilson. When I dropped Amelia off at her house, she playfully dabbed some perfume on my shirt and left lipstick marks on my collar, neck, and cheek. With a mischievous smile, she kissed me goodbye. "Go show them, Tiger," she teased, and we both laughed as I got back into my truck, heading home. It wasn't even 11 o'clock when I walked into what felt like the North Pole. "Where have you been?" Sophie spat, her voice icy. Without hesitation, I replied, "It's none of your business." I looked her straight in the eyes, completely indifferent. "You never bothered to tell me where you run off to with